Welcome to the pregame show.
Running through these towns, kicking psychedelic sounds. I leave my heart down on the ground. Since I don't have you around, I'll grab a bottle off the shelf and go and drink it by myself. Say you wanna talk it out, well I don't think I need your help. Think I'm better off alone. I made my whole run on the road. I won't spend my lonely nights talking on the telephone. I find a girl at every show, but I will never let you know how much I regret the past and why watching you go, because hearts ain't smart, they're built for fools. They fall apart and let you break all your rules. It'll make you choose between a bottle and the blues. But my heart can't seem to forget about you. Can't forget about you. Last 3 months, like a doggy on a chain, I got my heart off your leash, but you still infect my brain. So now I'm running round in circles, cause I can't forget the pain. Like 1,000 shiny daggers every time I hear your name. So I have to get control of my body and my soul. I pick my heart up off the floor like I had it twice before. Should have cared a little less, we should have loved a little more. Now we both regret the past as we're walking out the door, because hearts ain't smart, they're built for fools. They fall apart and let you break all your rules. It'll make you choose between a bottle and the blues. But my heart can't seem to forget about you. Can't forget about
Welcome in, Vikings fans, the Vikings Uncensored. I am your host, Bubba Starts. Coach Cody will be with us a little bit later. The man is a working man. But my good friend Big B decided to join the show tonight. Appreciate you, brother. Welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm glad they got the invite again. So, hey, we can talk a little positivity this week with Viking football. I mean, it was a weird week all around, I think, for week 15.
Oh, my goodness. So I had the opportunity to jump on the Purple Daily podcast with the Vikings vent line. And when they let you
that was a good job.
Thank you. So when they let you backstage in the StreamYard, you just see the comments as they see them.
Mm-hmm.
And it was wild, man. I had to say something about it. It's just back and forth. They're talking smack on the guests backstage. It was great, man. It was a good time. You know what? It was so nice just to watch the team play well. And everybody's going to talk, oh, it's a bad team. Washington sucks. Who cares, man? Like, the Vikings went out. They did their job for the first time in a month and a half or more, right? They showed up. They looked good. JJ played well. The running game got going. I think KOC called a good game. Like, there was so many positive things to take away, and yet there was so much hate from the fan base. It's just like, you guys don't deserve to win, some of you.
Well, and the thing is, watching you guys do the pregame, and of course I was chatting along while I was at work, it almost sounded like KOC and everybody was listening to your guys' show, reading my comments, because KOC came out after the game and said, yeah, we had to stick it to him right away. We won the coin toss. We took the ball. We wanted to knock him out right away. And that's what they did. I mean, and I commented, I was going to watch the offensive line. Offensive line played great. Gave JJ some time, gave some openings to the running game. Now, going into Dallas, let's keep it going. Let's get Jefferson. I mean, that's the missing point right now is now we need to find a way to get Jefferson involved.
Yeah, well, and let's hey, there must be food on the table somewhere. Coach just showed up.
Uh-oh.
And our co-host, Coach Cody Homdahl. Cody, what'd you think of the game on Sunday, brother?
Finally, not even just a W, not even just a touchdown instead of a field goal, but we got a shutout. I mean, that's got to be something right there. Going from being shut out to putting out a shutout, like, man, I'm happy. Also, it's not bad that we could win that game and have it not affect our draft position. I don't know if you guys covered that. If you did, my bad.
No, I just got here, Cody. I just got back, so we were just opening it up, and most of our comments have been on the comments from Vikings fans. And I mean, and I said it on the Purple Daily Vikings vent line when I was on there. Like, I don't think it's right to root for your team to lose. I think you can be like, it softens the blow maybe if you're like, oh, all right, we get a little bit better pick, but you're in this range like 5 to 12. Who gives a shit, right? Like that range doesn't matter. If you were like between the 5th and the 1st, then you're kind of like, why didn't you lose that game? But you're out of quarterback range regardless at this point, right? You're out of that top tier quarterbacks, which is not going to be a good quarterback year anyway. So it really doesn't matter. Do you maybe miss out on a Jeremiah Love? This team's probably not going to take a running back anyway. So it doesn't make a difference. What matters though, is your young quarterback's development. And I think we saw a step in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Night and day difference. I think he being JJ McCarthy kind of took a step back, was humbled greatly, and just went out there and instead of tried to do all these fancy plays or just tried to wow us or anything like that, he just played within himself, and the results were complete night and day. I'll take that 100%.
Yeah, B, and I mean, the kid's got a rocket of an arm. The way he can sling it from the opposite hash on those deep outs. I mean, that's a 45-yard throw that he is putting on a rope, right? So the arm talent obviously is there. I think, when you get a kid like this, that I think he's got good instincts. But when you make a kid like that think about, oh, where are my feet? Oh, he's counting his steps. Oh, he's thinking that's the half second or more that he was taking on some of these, as they're clocking him, right? I think they said his release was 2.5 seconds average this week. That's the ball's coming out quick. And instead of me, and I'm usually the one behind the TV going, rip it. He was actually throwing it when it was coming out of my mouth the first time, not the 4th time. Right. And it felt like he was seeing the field a little bit better. Now, does that happen more because you have I don't want to say inferior, but you have a not as good of a defense as some of them that you've faced, right? There's a big difference, I think, and having watched the Packers-Bears game, there's a big difference between that Green Bay defense and the Washington Redskins, right? You don't have pressure in your face at 2 seconds, and I think that makes a big difference. But also when you're running the ball, now you have defensive linemen that are maybe thinking a half a second about containment, that are everything builds off the running game. And that's what was nice to see this week. I think more than anything was a commitment to running the football. The first quarter was crazy. Well, there 2 possessions, 1 possession for each team in the first quarter. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what did we do? Like a 14 play drive or 19. Something like that?
Yeah. 19? Well, I think the first one was 12. The first scoring drive was pretty long. And then the one later in the game was a 19-play, 12-minute drive or something, like breaking records for holding the ball and running time off the clock.
Yeah, so our first drive was 7 plays, 61 yards, and then Washington went down 15 plays for 83 yards, and then we got the ball back, and then it was a 19-play, 98 yard for that second touchdown. So
Mm, mm.
And then we just switched. Then we did a couple punt, or they did a couple punts. We punted end of half. So
yeah, it was wild compared to like the 14 possessions it feels like in the first half the last few weeks, because we're getting the ball 3 and out, kicking it back to them. Defense holds, and then it's right back.
Well, and even if Washington's defense isn't as good as the Packers or the Bears, that's what we needed from our offense against a defense like that. Just show us that you could do it. That was a get me right game. You know what I'm saying? Running the ball and taking time off that clock, giving that defense some time to breathe. It's a night and day difference when that defense has an extra set of downs. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. But that was a really, really nice game from JJ. No turnovers. That was huge too. I wanted to see no turnovers. Just seeing the growth. That cannon of an arm that he's got, on the out routes from the opposite hash, like you had mentioned, that seam to Oliver for his first touchdown, just a bullet, had to be right there. The only thing I want to see from him now is just working on that ball placement, that deep ball to Jefferson. I tuned in just when you were saying get the ball to Jefferson. That deep ball. I mean, yeah, Jefferson. Okay, homeboy, you pushed off.
He's got to be more accurate downfield.
Yeah, that's got to be on the outside. But I love the fact that he's taking that shot.
Well, and that's a crazy thing to ask someone that didn't do a lot of that in college. Like, it's a different throw, Cody. And I know you're a defensive coach for the most part, but to kind of throw that ball more up, right, and to let it fall into your receiver rather than trying to throw it in there on a line. I mean, that stuff takes time. And we touched on it a little bit last week, and over the course of it is like, after the MCL injury, I don't know how much time JJ had to work on the little things. He was just getting his body back right last offseason. So he didn't necessarily have this entire offseason to work on the nuances of the NFL quarterback game. And that's why it was really sad to see so many fans just kind of like throw him to the side. No, he's a bust. He doesn't have it. It's like, man, this kid is thrown, I think, less than 1,000 passing attempts between his college and NFL career so far. Is something I saw today is like, man, you let this, because the arm talent, and I think that's why you draft him 10th overall. The accuracy and those certain things are why he doesn't go higher, but you're willing to risk that top 10 pick because of the cannon attached to his right shoulder, right? And you're banking on, we can teach him to feather those throws, to layer that over a linebacker and in front of a safety, and to be able to kind of throw that ball up. A great example of it is the way Jordan Love throws the ball in Green Bay. If you watch that Sunday night game where he's just throwing it up there, right? You throw it up there, let your receiver make a play on it. Give them an opportunity to jump underneath of that ball. And that comes with time, right? Like that comes with reps and being able to do that. And I think JJ can get there, right? And I'm not giving up on him. I think this team is obviously better. If you're not, I heard Judd throwing around like they might go after Matthew Stafford. They might make a play on that. And I'm just not about leveraging the future and spending a ton of money to maybe get a year or two, if you're lucky, of that top tier older quarterback, right? Or a Rodgers or a whatever kind of retread. I think you're better off just taking your time with this kid. You go through some lumps maybe next year and then see what you got. That's my take on it. You let this kid develop a little bit over the offseason and see what you got there, because I think this team proved it, that it's kind of built to run the ball, right? Like they looked good running that power game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was obvious that JJ wasn't able to get any practice throwing that ball, trying to work on the little things. He was just trying to get himself right. There's no way that without any legs you can't throw that ball, especially with touch. But it's going to take some time. The only reason why everyone was so against him so quick and ready to, come at him with a pitchfork is because of the high expectations that we had. But now, everybody's kind of been brought back down to earth. And, we realize, hey, this is going to be, there's going to be some ups and downs. We got to stick with them, though. The running game, it's amazing what happens when you run the ball. Ain't that crazy? It's just night and day difference. I mean, I'm looking at this. Aaron Jones, 14 carries for 76 yards. So right there, he's already above pace to hit that 20 carry 100-yard mark. I mean, that right there makes me happy that he got over 10 carries, that he got over 5.
Who was wearing the Kevin O'Connell costume on the side? Like who was that play caller, right? I didn't think he had it in him. To be perfectly honest, I know we talked at length about it. B, I don't know how you feel, but I didn't think we were going to see it from him. I didn't think I was going to see the commitment.
You guys are talking the pregame, and I even commented. It's just one of those things where you just don't know what team's coming out. And, we stressed that it had to be the run game. I mean, Jordan Mason also had 11 carries. And I think I saw somebody post on one of my Facebook pages groups that when the Vikings give Mason 10-plus carries, they're like 5-1 or something like that, or something ridiculous that it's just like, stats don't lie. I mean, they can, but, we're built to run. I mean, they should be running this ball all the time. And again, it all depends on that offensive line. And, that group played great this past week.
Yeah, that offensive line, I mean, we see what we can do when they're healthy. We see just looking at the numbers from JJ McCarthy, his passing, 16 for 23, 163 yards. I'm not even going to lie. I didn't even think he was going to bust 125. And then for the 3 touchdowns, who had Josh Oliver getting 2 touchdowns on their bingo card?
Well, and that's what's wild is because the kid loved his tight end target, right? I mean, he got Colston Loveland drafted in the first round because of it, right? Yeah, true. So it was obvious and talked about it a lot that like we knew that about the kid, but it was marrying the philosophy of the coach with what actually worked for the team. And I think we saw more development out of KOC as a head coach and a play caller in the last 2 weeks than we have even out of your young quarterback. I think JJ's proven that he can play this game. If you're going to ask him to throw 15 to 20, 25 times, he can accomplish those goals. If you're going to ask the kid to drop back 45 times and you're going to ask the line to drop back 45 times, right? And I think that's a big part of it too, is that this line isn't built to play that kind of offense either, especially when you're shuffling the deck every week, who's playing where, where's Blake Brandel going to be this week?
Yeah.
It's hard to do. Oh, we got another special guest tapping in too. We're going to bring in Sir Picasso, get his take. He just had a cool day yesterday. I'm going to let him tell you all about it. What is up, my brother Marcus, a.k.a. Sir Picasso, a.k.a. Darth Viking, a.k.a. Painting Away, the man of many names.
Let's go.
Man, that felt good, huh?
Man, there's a few of, let me tell you what feels good. The last few days, it felt great. How are you? How are you guys doing?
Man, we're all good.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to go down and deliver custom one-of-a-kind 3-deep portrait to Jake Reed. So you guys check out Jake Reed's page. Make sure you follow. There's so many cool things coming. These canvases are going to be turned into T-shirts, posters that you can get directly signed from Jake Reed. These are one-of-a-kind type 3-deep comic book cover, right? So not to mention it's all done with spray paint. Like it's so dope. And then today, getting out the phone with Paul Krause, like things are just like we're and Ted Smoltz. So we got some big things coming, guys. It's gonna be dope.
Yeah, I love when you step into a different circle, right? Like you start hanging out with a different caliber of person, and then it starts happening more and more. And eventually that's just like that's your circle now, right? You're out of the
100%.
circle that's full of drama and BS, and you're into a circle that's nothing but high level individuals that accomplished a lot in the greatest game. And it's pretty cool to see you now. I'm just experiencing it vicariously, being friends and a big follower of you. But man, it's got to be, I mean, Aaron Jones last week and his family, and this week with Jake Reed and everything you've been experiencing. It's just, and that's all from your art, right? And you being a really awesome human being, right? I mean, look at that baby.
Yeah, that's dope.
That's done by spray paint?
100% rattle cans.
Wow.
Oh,
So I tell people if you have a picture of it, I can paint it.
Wow.
I
That is
can,
nice.
I can take you through my room. I think I got a little bit of laundry on the bed, so I'll try not to show you.
Well,
Hey,
good job there,
we're
man.
getting ready to go to
Last week,
Dallas
too.
on Thursday, so we got a lot of like stuff getting ready for that aspect.
Well, I'm definitely going to follow you because I love when people. I'm not an artist. I can't draw a stick figure. So,
Well,
I see people
like
that
I
can draw
said,
that.
I go by Sir Picasso. My dad used to say he would draw a broken leg on a stick person.
Yeah.
Here's a Justin Jefferson in a Picasso format. It's all spray painted on canvas.
God, that looks like the stained glass stuff. Yeah,
that's
that's nice.
crazy.
It does kind of look like, yeah. And then I got, like I said, I can paint anything. We got tigers. I got
I'm
Incredible
gonna throw
Hulk.
up on the screen. I'm gonna throw up. So this is the one that
Oh,
he
yeah.
did. They auctioned off
nice.
at Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones, Showtime.
God, I would have never guessed that was painted by. I mean, that just looks so lifelike.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Oh yeah, you're ridiculous, man.
This was
every
this
way.
is kind of a fan favorite.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
those
you
girls
go.
are nuts.
But I'm sitting there and I had two people literally on the tailgate lot that just started following me. And they're like, oh my God, the Ninja Turtles. I'm like, bro, I got them for sale right now. Because
Yeah,
I need to get this inventory out of my way so I can hang up some of the other stuff that I know that you've seen this one we talked about this one last time.
Oh,
It's a 2 foot by 3 foot Jordan Addison. This is the biggest autograph he's ever done, over 12 inches.
might be the only autograph he's signing this season.
Man, that's all right. That's what I said. It's a one of a kind. Man, I really was hoping he'd get the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, it would have increased the value of that painting.
He's also got to catch the ball too.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
100%.
Ugh.
If we got any boxing fans, this is a one of a kind, and Mike
Yeah.
Tyson owns the other one.
Man, you know what?
ooh.
Marcus, we're gonna run a show one day where we just live auction this stuff off for charity. We're gonna figure out how to do
Honestly.
that after the season's
No,
over. We'll just go live until it's all gone. And
I thought of it
build
like
up.
just kind of like, well, not auctioning up, but like you do razzes. So you do, okay, with this one, we're going to do 10 spots at $40 a piece
Yep.
or $10 a piece. And
Yeah, you already
people can
know.
win them way cheap. Hell yeah.
Yeah, you already know, man. That'd be cool.
100%.
That'd be cool. So awesome, man. So awesome. That's why I had to do this show. I had the vision for this show when we came up to the whiteout game last year and we saw everybody. It was really our first time meeting the VWO. We'd been to a couple of games, but we went to the tailgate beforehand, got to meet a lot of people, got to meet you and Shelly, your beautiful wife, Lady Persia, and to really hear what y'all were about, right? And it was all about using this, being part of the show for one, to bring something extra for the fans, but then using that platform to do good in the world, right? Whether it's donating money to charity or showing up at this or that event. And now to see how that's just been amplified over the last 12 months, man, it's been absolutely incredible to watch. And I'm glad that we get to come together weekly and do this. I know you're live on your page all the time anyway, so this is nothing new to you. But yeah, it's nice to see it work and to be able to see where it goes from here is going to be a blessing, man, for sure.
Everything's been great down to like you said, with the charities. So as super fans, and I do dress up as Darth Vader, Darth Viking. So this is stickers that I hand out to kids. And basically, if you get a picture with me at the game, then I'll give you a sticker, But we actually turned into these stickers and things are just fun for us into charitable causes. So like now we run, quick plug, a good buddy of mine, his son is 24 years old. He's had 3 brain surgeries already. They just had to take the swelling out because he had an infection. And so he was in the hospital for like the last month. He's not doing too hot. But the hopes up. He did get his speech back now. So we got a bulk of stickers and we do $5 a sticker. You know what I mean? And then I literally went out and I bought all these personal thank you cards and I handwrite a personal message in every single one when I ship out your stickers. Because when you do things like this for even people you don't even know, bro, like to you is, what's $5, you get a cool little sticker, right? But your $5, his $5, his $5, your $5, that stuff all adds up and it makes a world of difference to a family who's in trouble. And especially when it's the season, of giving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just being there for other people, being a good human being, helping people out. Like you said, it's not even about the whole, like, everybody's gonna have some drama, right? But one of my close buddies, Eric, he's in New Jersey, Sir Plum Crazy. He said a couple years back, he goes, show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Ooh.
So like when you really put it into perspective, like if all you guys, and it's nothing against drinking and having fun. I know a lot of people like to do that, but listen, if that's all I'm doing on the weekends, bro, like I'm not progressing. I'm not bettering myself. I'm not, you know what I mean? And since I've actually took a step back and we really started focusing on my art as a business, as opposed to something I love to do. They say if you love to do, you never work a day in your life, but it's still work. It's fun work. Whether I'm an artist, whether you work construction, whether you do a podcast, bro, like it's all work. But it's just whether or not you love to do it. And that's all. And now we're able to do, like I said, we're able to do it to help other people. I auction a lot of canvases off throughout the year. I probably donate maybe 20. If I had to guess, I'd say around 20 canvases a year. So
Right. I mean, that's an easy 10K in value, probably upwards of 20 at the end of the day.
Depends on the canvas for sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, one could go for 20. You never know when you get into these auctions, especially for charity. But
well, we
yeah,
just raffled one off for Nick Lavery. Yeah, Nick Lavery is a United States Army Ranger. He's actually the only serviceman in U.S. history to complete tactical and technical special forces training with an above the knee amputee. So I painted a portrait of him. We went down and we did this event with Pillars of Valor. It was the first time I got to meet Zach. Zach introduced me to him. This was supposed to be a gift for him. We donated a Nas Reed painting. My Nas Reed painting went for like $600-700 or something.
Wow.
Then they said, let's donate that one. So they talked to Nick. Nick's like, yeah, I'll sign it. And Marcus, if you'll do one for me later as a gift. And I'm like, 100%. So they raffled his $4,500, bro. But that painting was sick. So you have to check out my page. It's on there. It's one of the, obviously he's the guy with one leg standing next to a Humvee. But such an incredible human being too. Like, just sitting there talking with him and like, he's one of those people, like you feel like when you were on the way home, you're like, all right, I got to do 17 hours at the gym, right? No more carbs, right? No, nothing. We got to do this. Well, I'm not doing nothing while I'm driving, bro. Let me, like you just want to be better when you talk, you know what I mean? You have those people that just motivate you to no end. And, yeah, he's an incredible person. So, and he's also like, he's, to make matters worse, I show you this picture of him, bro. He's 6'5" and he's from fucking Boston, right? so when he looks at you, you already felt like I'm getting yelled at. He's like, "Whoa, you do this with spray paint though?" I don't even know anymore. You know what I mean? Like, but no, he's pretty. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. This is a portrait of him and his wife, and his wife is also a special forces. So,
Wow.
yeah, that's a real power couple.
Yeah, no kidding.
So right now, this is like I got to come back in here because in my paint room, video will cut out just a second because as soon as
Right on cue.
Yeah, that's the vault.
is that pretty clear?
Wow.
Oh, that looks
Oh,
awesome,
wow.
man.
So obviously, once I spray the like the separation from the legs, the sock.
Those shoes.
Yeah. Oh, his boots aren't even done, bro. I'm gonna knock
I was
them out.
talking about hers.
The detail.
Hey, look, and the purse matches. Can you see that? The detail in the
Yeah.
purse?
That looks so like an old, like, 70s, 60s photo when you, like, your grandparents,
Yeah. So
It
when
looks
if you
sweet.
send me a couples picture, I love doing them in black and white. I love the way it looks. It gives it that antique look. It's a custom portrait, man. This is a one of a kind thing you're gonna have forever. You'll be able to pass this down to generations. You know what I mean?
So is that the one, Marcus, that he got instead of the one with him next to the Humvee after you raffled that one off?
Correct. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, so that this one probably means even more to him now anyway. So cool.
It always cuts. There we go.
You're back.
Yeah.
Good. You're good. Well, you brought up Pillars of Valor as it's scrolling on the bottom there. They're a new sponsor of the show. I wanted to yeah, man. Well, I got a chance to talk to Zach after seeing you guys together and, wanted to do more to help their organization. And I was like, look, bro, I love coffee. You send me some coffee. I'll make you some ads and run them on the shows and do something. So we're going to roll one of those and we're going to come back and talk some more ball. And so here's a message from our sponsors at Pillars of Valor. Viking season, fuel your passion with Pillars of Valor coffee, a proud veteran-owned company based in Victoria, Minnesota. Every delicious cup supports their mission to empower veterans and first responders. Taste the difference and make a difference. Pillars of Valor coffee, fueling heroes one cup at a time. Find them at pillarsofvalor.com and all social media platforms.
Hell yeah. So
Yeah.
you guys,
What's up, Paul?
this was one of the things I got. So when I went down and met with Aaron Jones, I had him sign a calendar because nobody has this in the whole world. But I told him flat out, I'm like, look, can you sign these 2 calendars for me? I'm going to raise money for veterans. I don't go get autographs for me, man. When I get something signed, I want to be able to like put it out to some people. So literally there is only one Aaron Jones autograph. And then I got pictures with Hawkinson signing this huge across the bottom, bro. It's $150. 100% of our proceeds for the calendars go directly to Pillars of Valor. Like I said, obviously, I go by Sir Picasso, but during the game, I don't want to show. There we go. I do dress up as Vader. You could see how shiny the gloss, the paper. This is such amazing quality.
We can see your whole house.
You can, yeah. It's a reflection. Look at that. But that's just it, bro. We did these calendars, and literally the next day after we had this picture, we're like, all right, put it in production. I said, send me that picture. She sent me the picture. She said, what you need for it? I said, because I need stickers too. So I'm like instantly like, let's jump on it. Strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah. No, they came out great, man. Loved it. We got the Men of the North calendars and the Women of the North. I like how it's a little bit of a battle between you and Shelly, who's selling more and putting it out there. We got to get Shelly on. She probably works Tuesday nights, so that's why we can't ever get her on the show to pop in with the women's calendar. But we're gonna make a point to
I had
get
one over
done.
there. But yeah, no, the women's calendar too, like with what she does is Women of the North. Her calendars are going to support 3 local families here in St. Cloud, Minnesota. All 3 with different stories, all ranging from an adult and another middle-aged adult and then a child, all dealing with cancer and in a bad situation. And like I said, again, in this time of, Christmas, and it's just so much, it's difficult, man. It's hard to put in words, like to see people, everybody struggles with something, you know what I mean? And so if you, like I always tell people, man, if I can make you smile, then my day's complete. So just try to be that person for somebody else. And if you can help somebody, you can. Sharing some of these posts, even if you can't afford a $30 calendar or $5 sticker, share the love. Like if you hit on sorry for cussing. Just
it's
share the link.
uncensored, bro. You're good.
It's uncensored.
I know. I say it anyway, just because I try not to be. I don't want to come off disrespectful to people, and because I do I don't live like a righteous lifestyle, but I mean, I try to be pleasant to people. And so like cussing just, I don't know. It slips out sometimes.
No, and you talked about putting smiles on people's faces, and you guys do that. I mean, you just being dressed up. I mean, my wife doesn't go up and take pictures with anybody, and that was one where she's like, I'm getting a picture with them at the game, right? Especially in the white. I mean, the whiteout game's an experience all on its own. But
I love that
y'all,
outfit, bro.
man, dude, it's so fire.
And I don't
Everybody
even
was
think
so good.
we're not gonna make it on Christmas, I don't think.
No, and that's kind of screwed up that they did the whiteout game on Christmas this year. I think that's a flaw, but oh
Yeah,
well.
it's
That's a
very
chalk it
upsetting
up
as a
to a
fan.
number of them the Vikings have made this year from the front office to the field. You guys were at the game this year. I know you've been raffling off a lot of your tickets this year. But you actually guys had a pair of tickets given to you. What was the vibe like inside of the stadium? I heard it was kind of quiet compared to what a game
At
would
first,
be if there was, a little more on the line.
100% at first, it was just like, everybody, I guess you could tell that they were just taking it in and they weren't like pumped. Typically, it's like, we're going to win this game and excitement level's crazy. I think, and then right around the middle of the first quarter, they showed a picture of KOC on the Jumbotron saying, we need the fans to get loud. And I don't think it got quiet after that. Like Anthony Barr, who obviously came out and blew the yellow horn. And then again, it was probably right around the halfway through the first quarter. They brought him out on the end zone and they were just, doing intermission. He was talking about Harrison Smith. And shout out to Harrison Smith on that interception, bro. Like, I swear to, I had the beeline to where I'm sitting. As soon as he threw the ball, I'm already standing up. Like, I saw it. I'm going, he's right there. He's right there. And it looked like he threw it right to him, right?
Yep.
And then my Shelly looks, she's like, she took her a second to get up. So I turn around, I go to high five her, and she's like, you knocked me down. I said, what? When I stood up, she apparently was trying to stand up as well, but I'm bigger. So no, man, it was incredible. And it was a fun game to watch. Like, you get those games where it's all one-sided, but I feel like that's what we needed specifically as fans, right? Regardless of how you feel, if the season's over, if we're not going to make the playoffs, who cares? You think we deserve it? Okay, so you make the playoffs. Which team shows up? The team against the Commanders or the team against the Ravens? You know what I mean?
I
Like,
was at that Ravens game, man. The 9 false start penalties at home, and yeah, I mean, well, and we haven't really touched on a lot of ball tonight, but I feel like, and there was quite a bit of talk of it this week from other commentators too, but like, if you showed up with this game plan that you ran against the Commanders, you might win an extra 2-3 games this year, right? And that's why I was kind of talking before you came on, Marcus, that I feel like we saw more development out of KOC this week than even we did out of the young quarterback. Like, the young quarterback's done this before. KOC has never called a game plan that featured 25 plus rushing attempts and just stayed committed to jumbo packages. And I mean, three touchdowns from tight ends. Whose team is this?
Right. And I, like you said, man, I love that the ball got passed around. Yeah, McCarthy, that's exactly what he plays like. So that, to me, like, this was the kid everybody's given up on, and everybody's like this. And I go, listen, if you get him in the first round, keep him. I don't care if we keep him for 5 years. You paid for it. Get your money's worth, right? If we lose the rest of the games, I would still be proud that you stuck it out and you let this kid learn, because we all mess up at our jobs. At some point, you've messed up, and that's the only way you're going to get better at it. Right.
Well,
and you can't just let somebody sit in and let somebody take over and then throw him back in and think he's just going to be hot shit again.
Right. Well, and Jaden Daniels is maybe like your one outlier that gets taken high and then performs at a high level that rookie season. Right. And it was really unfortunate
that
to watch
kid's
him
fast.
go out of the. Yeah. Well, and you had also an offensive coordinator in Washington last year that built the offense around the talent that he had. What a freaking concept, right? It was tough to watch him go down on that elbow. You don't want to see anybody get hurt. And then Zach Ertz is, man, that was That was
Yeah,
gnarly.
I had a conversation with
Oh.
Ward yesterday, and so I just kind of reached out to it. You know, there's a few players that I know personally where we can have these conversations, and just a message and be like, you know, hey, bro, it happens. From where I was at, it looked like a clean hit. I hope you don't get fined.
Right. Well, and I mean, Zach Ertz is like 6'6", and like he's a huge dude.
Yeah,
And I feel like Ward's probably like my size or your size, Marcus, right? Where
he's
like
6 feet tall. Yep.
2.
At least
Yeah.
giving up 50 pounds.
Yeah, exactly, man. You're just trying to take the guy down.
Okay, but here's
and you
the
don't
deal.
realize-
When you put so many restrictions on a D-back on how I can tackle you, right? Just like when I come at the quarterback, are you telling me I got you wrapped up, and as we fall to the ground, I got to let you go because I can't dive, I can't drop my body on you,
And I
smush
can't
you?
land on you, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you're jumping in the air for a ball as a defender, because I played corner and safety. My goal is to hit your midsection and make you lose your breath, drop everything, right? Because you don't aim for the head. So, but like you said, Ertz is not little. So he's going up for the ball, bro. Like in real life, when he hit, it looked like his whole body just ricocheted and flung around. Like it was, I didn't even notice his knee go backwards because that's how fast it happened. But you see his whole body. Like I
Oh,
said,
no.
it looked like he got him in the waist, you know, from where we were at. But obviously, you know, you watch the replays, he hit right in the thigh.
Yeah.
But aren't they supposed to tackle your legs?
Well, and that's tough too because, like I said, he's given up at least 50 pounds to Zach Ertz, and if you try to go in with a shoulder or something, you're probably going to get hurt yourself. Like,
Well, that or you're going to end up on a you got moss or some kind
yeah,
of clip on ESPN,
mhm,
bro.
getting trucked. So, I
Truck
mean,
over, yeah.
Cody, and I know you have extensive experience as a defensive backs coach. What do you coach your players on? And Marcus, you could probably chime in too, being a defensive back yourself from way back when. Like, coach, how are you coaching that? You know, how are you training somebody who's coming where you're playing in a zone like that? The ball's coming out. You're right on the guy, right? You're not going to make a play on the ball necessarily because it's probably 3 feet over your head as this guy's catching it, but you have to make a play on the man. Like, where are you teaching them to hit?
well, I mean, it's not just DBs, but just tackling in general. Low man wins. Low
Right.
man always
You
wins.
wrap those legs up, bro.
You
You ain't
and
going
and
nowhere.
like you said, if you're not going to be able to make a play on the ball, you had better secure that tackle, especially as a
At
DB.
least slow them down and let your inside guy come get them. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
yes, because if you're that DB safety, you could be that last dude. So you had better, like you said, wrap them up and hope and wait for your teammates to come, or just get them down. At any means possible, except for the head, like you said. No headhunters here. Let's play it like a man.
Ward couldn't reach Zach Ertz's head anyway.
No.
Exactly. Well, and the speed of the game, it's insane.
100%.
Instinct just took over. Instinct just took over right there.
No, and
You
I
know,
heard a
and it
lot of
always
fans
will.
come out and say, dirty hit, and obviously all of everyone else in the NFL's gonna call it dirty because it, wasn't their player. But I didn't see it that way in real time. It's unfortunate. That guy's career's probably over. I mean, it was over probably anyway.
This
probably
was
retiring.
his last year. Not that it
Right.
makes any difference because even with these players and you as human beings, we don't want them to get hurt. That's why no matter what team you're on, when you get up, you walk off the field, or even when they cart you off the field, that entire stadium should be cheering. You should be,
Yeah.
sending well wishes type things. And
Well,
Did you
and
guys see that Ward left the stadium before they did their press conferences in the locker room and went right to the hospital for Ertz because it shook him up that
Ertz, yeah.
bad?
Yep.
man,
No, like
That's
I said, I could, Bubba, I'll show you the message. But yeah, he was just like I said, when I reach out to them, I just hope that like I said, I hope he didn't get fined. It looked like a clean hit. He said flat out, he goes, I just, I don't wish for anybody to get hurt. Like that's, is what it is.
Right.
Yeah, I
And,
can't
and
believe
I
you
know
got
that
fined.
Ertz is a real stand-up guy too. It's not like these guys don't know each other,
Right.
like they're all, I think for the most part, you'd probably 90% of them are friends off of the field. You know what I mean?
They're all in the same union. You
Right,
know what I mean?
right. Yeah. These are your coworkers at the end of the day, right? Like
I
they're
don't
in
know
it
if
together.
fans don't know this or not, but it's a union.
Yeah.
They all work. They are together, and they do talk a lot. That's why, even as a fan, I'll be the first one to admit, why are you smiling and joking on the sidelines? We're losing. Get out there and play the damn game, right?
Right.
But it's different for them.
No, and a lot of them spend their summers, training with each other in the off season.
I know most of the players
You
of the
know,
Vikings don't live here.
yeah, no.
Well, you got to
And-
think too. A lot of them went through college together. They see these guys grow up. I mean, back to high school. Some of these players. So, I mean, just because they're on different teams doesn't mean they're enemies now. I mean,
That's why you see those jersey swaps. It's like I ain't seen you since
Yes.
college or since
Right. Yeah, no, and coming from a coach, and with and a player, you can probably speak to this as well. But seeing a player go down, whether he be on your team or not,
Right.
it just hits close to home because you're like, man, like he put in them all those hours during the off season, the preseason, the 2-a-days, the training camp, all that. He put up with all the film and it just the time being away from the family, and to put in that work and not be able to finish out the season or see it through like
Well,
that.
you said it right there too, because like those players, they don't understand that, or the players understand that when you're injured, you're not making full-time play money.
Right.
Okay. So now, and also being a player, when somebody's hurt, your cleats are on that same turf. That could be you laying right there.
Mm-hmm.
So like they know that A, that could be you. B, now if he's out for the season, that just affected his money for the rest of the year. And then C, and more importantly, now his family, their rehabilitation, like they think about all these things that run through your mind. And as fans, unfortunately, you're selfish. You're like, oh, all right, well, next week. Like, no, man, these people, this is their life too.
No, and I
Yeah.
think that's something that we're going to continue to bring a different element with this show and that perspective, because you have those relationships with some of these players, and Cody's background as a coach and as a player, and someone who's working right alongside these young men and going through the struggles with them. And we hope to see Coach Cody in the purple and gold one day out on that field. I loved that. Cody, you did a AI video of you out there, and you kind of got the dream it to believe it. And I loved it,
That
man.
was
I can
great.
see that. All of us
But
out there
now we just got to
celebrating.
paint it. Let's paint it. Let's paint it on canvas. We'll put it into the universe.
Yep.
You know?
Absolutely. And that's what I like to do. Have a goal, speak it, get it out there, and
You're supposed to
then,
write it down.
yep, 3 times a day. And then, just keep that goal, being seen somewhere. I planted a seed somewhere. I got a lot of University of Minnesota Gopher, coaches and players that I talk to, and just planting that seed. Someone's gonna pick up on it. It might not be with the Vikings right away, but when I get to the NFL, it's not if, but when. I'll be
There you
ready.
go.
Yeah, I'll be ready.
Yeah,
Well, hell,
we'll call you home eventually.
Arena football legend, so can Coach Cody.
There you go. Hey, Bubba. So, like I said, I was just on the phone earlier with Ted Smoltz, and we're going to be doing something with Paul Krause. So, when I get that all worked out and everything, I'm going to let them know that when it comes time to promote, there's only one channel he's got to come out and come live on his stream, and we'll bring Paul Krause on here. And
Man, that would be awesome. I appreciate that, brother. I know we'd love it. I know Big B would come back for that one too.
Oh man,
we'll promote the shit out of it. We'll get a whole bunch of people. We'll get ready for some Q&As.
Yes.
And like I said, he could sit there and Paul does have his garage similar to how Bud Grant did his annual garage sale, how, you can go to, like who else is there? Like, Tommy and them are usually at the tailgate a lot. They're out there trying to promote themselves, and they're accessible. So you can get something one of a kind from some of these like historical figures in the Minnesota Vikings. Like Paul Krause, who you are, he's the best safety, probably only just underneath Harrison Smith, and that's only because Harry's been, But I can't name a. You name a safety better than Paul Krause in the Vikings?
Not really. I mean, the closest, I don't even want to. Corey Chavis would probably, maybe, but
Davis would probably be the only other one I can think of.
I'm not going to put.
Right, but that's what I mean. You have some of these players that have such a following. So for them to do 500 posters, even if they did them for $50, bro, you make a killing.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, man, it's a much different vibe around the team this week, isn't it?
100%. 100%.
We were despondent last week. No answers. I think the coach, KOC came out, said a lot of the right things last week, but until you saw it, I don't think anybody was buying it. Even now, it's still like, you got to show up and do it again. Sunday night football, you have to come out and just like, don't come back out and do we're going to drop back 50 times again, right? Like, do you have to run the ball 25, 30 times? Probably not. It's going to be a different game plan, but I just want to see that same commitment to the running game.
I want them to do the exact same plays that they did this last week.
Right.
Do the same thing. No, the exact same game plan. That's for the Commanders. This is the Cowboys. I don't care. They're playing the same kind of football. I mean, they are. They're just Dallas is. I think Dallas plays the exact same style that Commanders do. I think that worked. Dallas is probably looking for us to switch some things up, and I'm saying let's just ground and pound and pass the ball like we did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bro, you ever play me in Madden? I'm like, what is that? What is he? Remember the Titans? What does he say? It's like Novocaine, 6 plays. Give it time, it'll work. Oh, that's all I do. I do 6 or 7 plays. That's it. My defense, I'm on 3 styles, and good luck against me.
It's a simple game, right, Coach? It's a simple game. It's all about execution at the end of the day.
No, it really is. And, we have seen a little bit of growth from KOC. I'm just wondering, are we going to continue to see that, or is he going to go back to his old ways? We're going up against Dallas, and I don't want to get too far into it because we have that pregame show coming up on Sunday here, Sunday night. Well, a Sunday night edition. But, if Dallas is no slouch, they should be better than this. I thought they'd be not only a playoff team, but running deep, but we're gonna have this is gonna be a test. That's all I'm gonna say.
They're gonna keep our safeties and corners on their toes because Dak can sling that damn ball.
Pickens is out for blood this year.
Yeah,
I think it comes down to pressure. Can you pressure the quarterback like you did this week? And I think what was nice is that you started to see that exotic B-flow defense this week again, but you can't do that when your defense has been out there for 50, 60 plays, right? Like, I think that's the biggest difference that we saw is that the defense is better when the offense can stay on the field and sustain drives and run time off the clock and keep it going. It gives you because if you're a half step slow on those blitzes, you're getting gashed, right? Van Ginkel ain't jumping those routes when he's sucking air because they've been out on the field for most of the game. So I think there's a lot to be learned from the way they played ball this last week. And you just hope it continues. And, do we have to win out for it to be everything? No, but I think you have to show
you should want to.
You're capable. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
But not only that, I think so like going back to what you said with defense and offense, it gives the offense so much confidence when I know that this is 3rd and 8, that I can trust my receivers to go for this big pass. Because even if you want to go for it on 4th down, I know that my defense is holding them out. So when you have that confidence, knowing that your defense has your back, yeah, I believe it makes you play so much better on offense. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, and it was very important that we came out, and I said this in the pregame show, that we came out and punched them in the mouth.
Yep.
You know, it took that momentum.
100%.
You know, but not only punched them in the mouth, but we were like, hey, we're going to score, but you're going to be sucking wind by the time we're done scoring here.
And we
And
keep
then we're
doing
going
it,
to come
right?
back and do it again, you
Yeah.
know? And that's, we have to keep that mentality of, hey, you know, I'm going to start stomping on your throat and you're not going to be able to get a breath in. You know, that was huge. Yeah, we have the receivers to trust and be able to throw up them balls. Like, you know, when you got Justin Jefferson, it's not a 50-50 ball. It's like an 80-21 or 80-20.
Okay, so explain to me why those 20 are the easiest balls. Like, don't be sitting there before the game, one handed like this with 2 fingers,
I know.
and then they get a ball right in the numbers and you dropped it. Because, bro,
Yep.
like, I get
I
so
know.
mad.
I know. Well, and
that one catch changes it. JJ's over 200 yards with 4 touchdowns now.
Yeah.
JJ's got, 50, 60 yards, and it's just like, it's totally different talking points. And,
Well, there's no reason we should have Justin Jefferson getting 4 yards in a game.
No,
Period.
that's
crazy. And
absolutely
11
Period.
last week. Yeah.
And you know, in McCarthy's favorite target seems to be Addison.
Addie,
You know, but I mean, he could have had maybe 5 touchdowns if he would have gotten that one to Jefferson, and Addison can catch a ball. Like, come on, man, help him out.
Right.
You know, this is basically considered McCarthy's rookie year, and I mean, not bad for what he's got to deal with in the position that he's been put in with the throwing 40 plus times.
That's why I wasn't mad. Like, people are like, oh, McCarthy's this, we threw a few interceptions. So he's a rookie.
Right.
And then you got Max, who's a rookie. I'm going, guys, just calm down.
But yeah.
Right.
I mean, he's not pulling a Jameis Winston 5+ years in the league still.
Well, okay, Coach, let me ask you then, what do you think their mindset is? Because in my mind, when you have Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, you got TJ Hawkinson, you got Oliver, right? You have all these weapons. Why don't quick slants work? And why don't we do them? Like, we don't do them like, I feel like a quick slant is the biggest kill in the world, because if I can get a cross pattern, even if I get my tight end to move, you just took 3 of those defenders out of that area and he's wide open every time.
Man, look at the play that Christian Watson had on that Sunday night game. They saw the blitz coming. He checks to it. They give a little hand signal. It looked like Madden. It looked like a Madden play. He broke.
Right.
He was gone. He was gone.
No, he could have shaved his face while walking in.
I get it.
Like,
but
he had time.
He could have shaved B's head while he was running down the field.
He's struggling with those type of throws, though. They're always getting batted down.
But yeah, that's where I feel McCartney has he needs to understand the difference between get him the ball and getting him the ball. Mm-hmm. Not every single one needs to be 50 miles an hour or whatever.
Exactly.
Right? And that's what I tell my friends sometimes when we watch and they go, oh, it was an easy pass. Yeah, but this isn't me and you playing catch, bro. They throw the ball like 25, 30 miles an hour.
Right.
You catch that football.
Yeah.
And I think it has to deal also with the fact that, it's been such a carousel with the offensive line. Just not having that time, having that chemistry, and then you got him trying to throw that slant, and these balls are getting batted down. That doesn't really build enough, that doesn't build confidence with the coach to want to call that play. It definitely doesn't build any confidence for JJ to want to make that throw. You
Well,
know,
and I think Jetta's got lit up on a slant last year, and I think that may play into KOC's. Like, I don't think it's in his playbook really anyway. I think he ran it one time. His dude got lit the fuck up. And he's like,
right? Well,
never
and
calling that
and
play
you know,
again. He just threw it out. But what was cool, I loved the little screen pass in I think it was that first, not that first drive. That they ran to Jefferson, right? Where it wasn't a screen, but it was
Yeah,
different.
he tossed it. He like they can't. Is that the play you're talking about?
Yeah, where I mean, they all kind of cleared out. You sent everybody down, and he kind of
Right.
stayed back, and it became like a downfield screen. I thought that was a cool play design. I would like to see more of that to get Jefferson the ball. Like, we got to do something different. The deep ins that you ran before that worked when you had time and you had, a veteran back there that could see that, because there's so much anticipation into those throws, especially in a zone. And I think you're seeing a lot more 3 deep. You're not seeing a lot of 2 high safety anymore from this team. You're seeing a lot of 3 deep, which kind of takes away that middle part of the field. And especially for a young quarterback that's in his head right now that doesn't want to throw the interceptions, he's not seeing that yet, right? So you got to find other ways to get your playmakers the ball. And I thought that one little wrinkle, I thought that was a cool play. Now, you can't obviously do that 4 or 5 times a game, and this game you didn't need to, but I would like to see KOC, like, don't the bubble screen, that isn't JJ's game, right? Like those easy swing passes and stuff, like that's not it. You got to find a way to marry the philosophy of what you want to do on offense to the arm talent that you have, right? And finding a way to do that. And I thought that one play was an interesting, we hadn't seen that yet. And I mean, you picked up a huge 3rd down with it too.
Right.
So it was cool.
I think that's
Unfortunately, that
why
was
they
like
do that wide receiver screen to JJ, because McCarthy has that fast release. Like he's quick. When I'm sitting there and I go a wide receiver screen, to me doesn't make sense, right? Because
Well, it
you're
doesn't make
already got
sense
your defender,
because
so now I have to at least beat you.
you don't have the other wide receiver. Like Jordan Addison's not going to go block for Jefferson, right? Like you don't have another receiver out there that can get out there and block on the perimeter. And unfortunately, that's why I don't think Jordan Addison is a wide receiver too, because he doesn't have that part to his game. I think he's a really strong 3 on a championship team. And a lot of Vikings fans don't like it when I say that, but do you want to just like put the purple colored glasses on all the time, or you want to look at your roster as compared to a top tier team and look at it that way? And if you're going to have a wide receiver too, you need somebody that can get out there, be physical on the edge, and open your wide receiver 1 up. And unfortunately, I don't feel like we have that on this team right now.
Well, and that might just be, and I don't want to like talk to his character, but for Jordan, like that just might be his personal mentality right now. If he came into playing football with like a Jerry Rice or a Chris Carter work ethic, right? Because Chris Carter was, I mean, for a lack of a better term, he wasn't really shit in Philadelphia.
No.
Right? But obviously he was going through some things, and like he openly talks about. And I've told Chris personally that was what brought me to the Vikings, when I saw how he overcame, right? You put your nose down and you're like, all right, that's who I was.
mm-hmm.
So now if Addison has that work ethic, he definitely has potential to be a solid, strong number 2. Like he's fast. He does have good hands, although you're absolutely right. He's not showing us, right? But I don't know maybe something's in his head. His game's off. But I don't know. I think I have so much hope for him. So that I think that's like when you said like Viking fans get upset, is because, I mean, obviously we want all of our receivers to be Justin Jefferson, right?
Well,
But at the same time, I keep seeing these press conferences where Justin Jefferson says that he's had a conversation with him. Okay, well, if it don't work, I mean, you got to talk,
Yeah, and unfortunately, like for the front office, is that Addison has totally tanked his value between the off-field stuff, right? The suspension, and then the situation they had when they were overseas. him not being, I don't, you just kind of like disappeared and his phone wasn't charged and like, come
Yeah,
on,
you got
man.
lost.
Yeah, man. Like man, you are a professional and this is your job. You make a lot of money to go out here and perform and to be part of that team and to do all the little things. And man, I got
You
the
also got to
opportunity.
remember he's a kid.
Right,
Well,
right. A young man as well.
They're kids, bro. Like when they come out of college, bro, I don't care if you're
well, yeah,
18,
that's
19
true.
years old, you ain't a grown ass man, bro.
That's true. That's true. But
Right?
that
So the
brings
whole
me
not
back
charging
to
your phone, that's a kid thing to do, bro. That's not, I'm gonna go out anywhere I've never been before without navigation.
right.
Come
That's
on.
ridiculous. I
Or
just
or without a partner or a buddy.
with Jefferson, I think, yeah, okay, you might have talked to him, but why don't you do more than talking to him? Why don't
Right.
you
That's what I'm saying.
actually
Like,
take
because
him
what you're
aside and
doing is not working.
show him how to be a pro?
Yeah.
Show him how to act. Jefferson hasn't had one, knock on wood, hasn't had anything, any problems. He doesn't. He might be frustrated beyond belief right now because of how his season's going, but he's not showing it. He's still being a pro. And I wish that some of that would rub off on Addison. If he ever wants to be a successful wide receiver
Right.
too, he's going to have to learn how to run block or block in general. With Justin Jefferson, having so much attention from the defenses, and you're getting this many, this much a look from McCarthy, you got to take advantage of it, especially with the off the field issues. You got to perform and to at least offset the bad shit.
Right.
Well, the thing is, too, I mean, there's only a phone call away, and you can probably get Chris Carter to sit down with them and tell him what it's like to be in the league and, be that superstar if he's not listening to Jefferson,
Well, Shelly just told Jake Reed that he needs to go in the locker room. She told him on that. She's like, listen, we need to have
Nice.
because Shelly will mom you. I don't care who you are. You could be older than her, whoever. She moms you. So she's like, so Jake was there. We're shaking hands, getting ready to leave. And she goes, listen, these players need you to go in there and talk to them.
Yeah.
You need to go in there and tell them, like, stop doing this, and this, and do this and like focus. And I'm just like, okay, let's go. Stop yelling at the receiver. Let's leave.
Y'all keep talking. So I got the opportunity to interview. I was working a PGA Tour event, and Rondé Barber and Chris Carter were part of a celebrity game. So I got to interview these guys for like 45 minutes at the press conference. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to pull myself off the screen. I'm going to see if I can dig that video up because he shared a really cool story about one of his coaches early on because he thought he was going to be a basketball player. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was a basketball player in college, and a coach came to him that was actually had connections to South Dakota. So he shared this really cool story. I'm going to see if I can dig the video up. You guys keep talking ball and I'll be right back.
Yeah. What do you guys think of Max?
Brosmer?
Yeah.
I think he was. I think the Vikings organization should have publicly come out and apologize to him, and specifically Kevin O'Connell. I think they set him up to fail right from the start. Hey, I'm just gonna go back and say it. Like when you have a rookie quarterback, undrafted, played 1 year basically, at the Big Ten level. You got to help them out. You go and take them points. Going for them that fourth down, that first one that led to the pick six. I'm still pissed off about it.
No,
Stupid.
because I don't give a fuck who you are. Sorry for cursing. I don't care
Yeah.
who you are. There is no reason to throw that ball.
Yep.
You are taught in Pee-wee football
That
if you are
too.
being rushed, you throw the ball to the sidelines.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's the thing is, you play Pee Wee football, Little League baseball, or stuff like that. You get to the majors, the
You
game
forget
doesn't
the
change.
fundamentals.
You take that sack, you throw it to the sideline. You don't look at a third call strike right down the middle. That's stuff that frustrates me when I saw him going down and I saw him do this flip. I'm just like, oh, that is going to the house,
Man. Yeah. Well,
but
and
that's I would have liked to see him play against this offensive line that played this past week to see what he could do. I mean, I saw times where it looked like, okay, he could get it if he gets some time, get some snaps in there.
Yeah.
And then there's times that he looked lost. I mean,
Well, and you got to think
what
it's
happened.
overwhelming, right?
I was just gonna say he wasn't ready for the spotlight. He wasn't ready just to be out there really taking meaningful snaps.
Nope.
I think he would have been better suited getting more garbage time just to get that feel of
Right.
everything.
Dude, I have so many fans, like, because I get so anytime anything Vikings happens, I get random messages. Like just because I have tattoos and I dress up, I'm an expert, and they want to know what I know from the team or whatever. I don't get it. But at the same time, bro, you get people that'll be like, well, I mean, he should be better, right? We need to draft a guy because nobody's coming out like Patrick Mahomes. I'm like, dude, Patrick, you forget. Patrick Mahomes came into a winning team already.
Yep.
Alex Smith had already had this. They had a amazing offensive line. Amazing. And then you got Mahomes who has the time. So yeah, obviously he has time to throw. So his confidence just got huge. And now he's Superman and thinks he can do whatever on the field. But you got guys like I don't know. People just think Mahomes is like he earned it. You know what I mean? And he's a phenomenal quarterback. But to come into an already set offensive line, offense ready, and like just I don't know, you can't really compare the two.
No, you can't.
And that's the whole thing. It's where the quarterbacks get drafted. That's why when it comes to the draft, and everybody's like, "Oh, this guy's a can't miss player, can't miss player, can't miss player. This guy's a franchise." It's just like, look where he's going. I mean, they said that about Caleb. Yeah, Caleb's looking a little bit better. They said that about Ward this year. They've said that about Jamarcus Russell and a lot of other.
Tim Tebow was the greatest college quarterback, like the quarterback to come out of college ever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How'd he do in the pros?
Exactly. Look at Brady. When did he get drafted? 6th round, almost 7th.
Yeah.
And we got to see what happened to him due to an injury. It's just Brock Purdy, last pick of the draft a few years ago. Yeah, he's average now.
He struggled the first couple of years, though. Yeah. Look at Johnny Manziel. They said Johnny Manziel was going to be the next Joe Montana.
Yep.
But Purdy had a good offensive line as well, though, with Trent Williams there.
Yeah.
It's that offensive line. JJ. Yeah, he has the weapons, but if he doesn't have time to get it to the weapons, it's a recipe for failure.
Exactly. That's what Madden always said, is that you got to give these guys time. You got to win the line of scrimmage, and
right.
And you're going to win the game. I'm with you on. We got to stick with JJ. We drafted him 10th. We can't give up on him after this year or next year. We got to stick with them. Got to build that offensive line. Yes, Jefferson's time window to win a Super Bowl is probably going to diminish every year, but it could take just a couple people on that offensive line to change it around.
But it also might not. If he can stay healthy and the wide receiver is one of those positions where as long as he's healthy, they can do it for 7 years.
Is Speedy Naylor the wide receiver 3?
The what?
Is Naylor that wide receiver 3? Can he be it? Yeah, he can be that.
I like Naylor, bro.
Oh, here we go.
Man, I think if Addison keeps fucking around, Naylor's going to be that
number
guy,
2.
and they're going to go find. Well, I think they need to go find a bigger body number. They need to find someone that can do a little bit of what.
Hey, is that Steelers wide receiver available? That one that's like 6'8"?
It doesn't even need to be something like that, but it definitely needs to be somebody that's in that 6'3", 6'4" range, right? Somebody that can still go up and get it, that can take some pressure, that can block on the edge. I think that's important. So
I forget we have Rondell Moore.
Well, right, and I don't even know who else is on the roster, right? We got guys that are very aware. Ty Felton has seen the field. Has he seen the field at all?
Yeah, he's got a couple passes. Yes, Sunday.
Yep.
Perfect. So yeah, you're starting to get this. So this was a really cool event, man. I don't even know these silly podcasts, man, have gotten me into some pretty cool stuff this last year. So this press conference is with Rondé Barber, Chris Carter, Hall of Famers in their own right in football. And then Sir Nick Faldo on the right there was the world #1 golfer for 92 weeks in a row in the World Golf Hall of Fame. I forget the other guy's the host of it. He was a really good golfer, Masters champion. We're not going to hear it on this, but there was a funny, my wife's favorite moment of this presser is when I referred to the Open, the British Open, the Open, as one of the other majors. So Nick Faldo had a good, Sir Nick Faldo had a good ribbing with me. But so the question is coming from my wife loved that, right? They're laughing at you. I was like, I don't even think they're Hall of Famers, man. So what? The guy's a knight. The guy's a literal knight. He can say whatever he wants to. But so the question I think that we're going to hear is talking about Chris's old coach. I hope the audio comes through okay on this too. But yeah, this is me at a press conference with Chris Carter and Rondé Barber.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. When you win, you go back to the hotel and, you go, I got to get on the plane tomorrow morning and go someplace and do something else. Right? Sometimes there isn't that joy. There's probably more 20 years later when you sit back and, that was pretty good. That could be a good year. Yeah.
Unless you're a wide receiver, because we don't really keep score again. We just keep, how many catches I have, how many yards, how many touchdowns. I don't care about the rest of the team. Most of them are like, just give me the ball. Yeah, just give me the ball. I don't care if we won or not. Yeah.
Chris, I want to ask you, Steve Bliss works for Sanford, he's here in Sioux Falls, and I've talked with Steve about you extensively in the past, and just can you elaborate a little bit on what he's meant to your career?
Oh my gosh, this guy, these people, Steve Bliss, this guy, who works with Sanford Health and a lot of different reasons. I met him when I was 17 years old visiting Ohio State. And he is an avid weightlifter, Olympic weightlifter. And at that time, I was a basketball player. So I was used to tell Coach Bliss, I can't lift on my shoulders because it's going to mess up my jump shot. He was like, son, you're going to the NFL. So when I originally went to Ohio State, he and some of the other coaches, they alluded to later on that they let me kind of believe that they were going to let me play two sports there when I signed up. I was going to play basketball. At that time, my brother was in the NBA, and I had, at that time, 3 other brothers playing Division I basketball. So we go through my freshman year, freshman All-Big Ten, freshman All-American, and then for the first time in Rose Bowl history, I win the MVP of the Rose Bowl as on the losing team. I had 9 catches for 170-something yards, broke Don Hudson's long-time record at the Rose Bowl. After the game, me, Earl Bruce, and Coach Bliss met in the locker room. And because I was supposed to fly back the next day and join the basketball team. And they came up with this plan, and he told me in the locker room at the Rose Bowl, if you lift weights with me 2 times during winter conditioning, during the winter semester, you'll be the first All-American wide receiver in the history of Ohio State. But we need you not to play basketball. We need you to give up basketball. And at that time, sitting in the locker room, I just got MVP, like, my head is spinning. And I really believed at that time I'm a better basketball player. So Coach Bliss was part of the coaching staff that really got me turned around as far as Olympic weightlifting. I mean, I immediately went from like 179 pounds to like 198 pounds. And he was one of the real people in my life, foundationally, that gave me a work ethic and let me understand about weightlifting and how it would transition into football. And he projected me in places that I couldn't see myself. So Coach Bliss is unbelievable. The people here in South Dakota, North Dakota have access to him. Like, you have one of the best in sports right here in your backyard. Utilize him, because he has stories like that. Like, yes, he affected me in a way. I wouldn't have a Hall of Fame career and ideology if I hadn't met people like Coach Bliss. So make sure you tell him, respect Coach Bliss. Man, that was enough weightlifting. He'll kill you though. No, seriously. Yes. So lifting 2 times winter quarter with him at 6 a.m. appointment, like that sent my career to the stratosphere.
Great question.
I'll pay you.
I've got a great question. So I'm looking at all these bruises and scars on your legs, and they could all tell us. I think I want to tournament with a paper cut on my little finger. Look at these. Look at these scars.
Awesome, Matt. I think you start to see, it's as young men that they find that work ethic. And like we were kind of alluding to with an Addison, is like, where's that mentorship, right? Like if you're not going to listen to, and maybe him and Jeddas are too close in age, right? Where he's not, having somebody with that, that you're willing to give that authority to, right? That you're willing to say, you know what, this man is smarter than me and knows better. And I'm going to take that advice. And, we want this team to do well. I think this team is better with a Jordan Addison on it, but you cost your team 3 games of you on the field. I have a major problem with that. A championship team doesn't have players like that on it. And I think that's kind of been where I've been alluding to, is that you obviously, if you're going to be selfish and you're going to go do some off the field shit that is going to cost you and cost your team, then you don't have that work ethic that's needed to be a champion. Right. And you may be a successful NFL player and you may play some good ball, but you're never going to achieve that next level. And we kind of talked about it with when, Marcus was here too, is like, show me, what would that quote, right? Like, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And you have to wonder, what is that friend, right? What is that friend? What is those people around him? Who's the people that are influencing his life? And, man, I really took what Marcus said tonight to heart too. Cause I'm coming to a different point in my own life as a broadcaster, a podcaster, whatever. And I see people like Cody around me that I know your grind and I know your story. I know your backstory and where you've come from and where you're going. And a lot of in the music world, you'll see a lot of people that, think you can party and work and do both things. Right. And that's not the case. That's just not the case at all. And you have to wonder, where you have to think about where you want to be and how bad you want this. And for me, man, I've taken a massive pay cut. Like I could go to the factory and go make, $50,000 a year. Took a massive pay cut, taking that away from my family to commit myself to this. Right. And if that means 12 to 16 hour days in front of a damn camera, right, going live 3-4 times a day and committing to that, then so be it. But it ain't going to be, I've had a license. I could smoke weed if I wanted to, but I'm not as good on camera if I'm doing those things. Right. Yeah. And I know that. And I know that I'm not as good at this job if I'm impairing myself in any way. And it's definitely been a, kind of looking at myself in the mirror and going, what do you want? Like, what do you want? Do you want to be someone who, half-asses their way through life and, can live a comfortable life, right? Like I wasn't uncomfortable. 50K a year was plenty of money in our South Dakota town. My wife makes okay money, right? I could live that, or did I want more for myself and for my family? And and committing to that, sleeping in my truck, and Cody, I know you relate to that, right? Living in the back of that. Were you willing to commit to that to go after what you wanted? And, we ain't sleeping in our vehicles anymore. And if you are, you can call us because we would love to help you, especially if you're out there putting in the work, right? And, I want people to see us putting in the work. And that's why I'm live here and doing this show and doing the pregame show and doing, now I'm live 5 days a week in the afternoons.
Yes, sir.
For our music show too, right? And showing up every morning and going live. So you see me because I want you to see the growth. I want you to participate in the story. I want you to see it day by day. And I don't have to write it down, right? I'm here. I'm saying it to you, right? I'm putting it on tape. And I think that you are the product of that tape. And from this team now, and why we say that we want to win out, right? Like, because you are who you put on tape. And this team next year is going to be a reflection of the end of this year's team. You're going to have a lot of the same guys back. Yeah, there's going to be some new faces, but if new faces are coming in and they're looking at a team that rolled over the last 5 games of the season because they weren't in the playoffs, you're going to get that same kind of player that comes in there and say, oh, this is how this team behaves. And I don't think you can do that. I think you have to go out and prove it in these last 4 games. I want that Green Bay game to have consequences at the end of the year, right? Like, I want that to be our fucking Super Bowl, to where we go out and maybe affect their draft seeding. I want them to want it. I don't want their seed to be locked up at the end of the year so that they got something to play for. I don't want to go out and win that fucking football game. Right. And that's what I would like.
They're going to want to win it just because it's a division game. I mean, they got things locked up, and Packer fans and the Packer team is going to want to win it just because it's a division game against Minnesota. I mean, so that game is going to mean something overall.
Implications, or them and the Bears are kind of neck and neck to the end of the season. That I want that game to mean as much to Green Bay as it does to us, and not just because of division. I want it to have consequences for them if they lose, because that's something that we can then hang our hat on at the end of the year. And you got what's our last? We got Dallas is a good football team. If you can go out and play well and beat a good Dallas team that maybe don't have the record that I think a lot of us expected them to, there's a lot of things that you can still hang your hat on to finish this season out, to look back on through the course of the offseason and say, hey, it might not have gone our way. The record might not have been what we wanted to be, but we grew. And I think I heard a little bit of that from KOC in his post-game locker room speech. I was hearing once again things, and KOC is a big reason why I defected from that Bears team over and started rooting for this Vikings team, because I saw something in the coach and in the team that I was attracted to, right? And not just tired of my wife talking shit to me all the time.
I mean, the thing I took from the game, I mean, I text Cody a couple times. That first drive that first drive for the defense, they stopped them, gave them a seed. They came back, marched down. Overall, I think the game itself was like an A-, B+. But I want to see what happens against the Cowboys. I want to see what happens. I want consistency now, these last 4 games, to keep that an A. Right now, I would say if I wrote it down, I would say the game was an incomplete grade, because I want to see what goes forward on that game, the game calling and stuff like that. Yeah, Dallas is a good team. We definitely got to show up against these good teams. I mean, we did against Detroit. Nobody thought we'd beat Detroit in Detroit, and we did. We went out there. We need that consistency to go. I mean, we're going to turn over the ball. I don't see us not turning over the ball anymore. I mean, so turnovers are going to happen, but we need that game plan to go out there again, do it again. We need to get JJ involved in the game, because I mean, he's sitting at 300 yards for the year. I mean, that's not JJ. That's a third string receiver. We need JJ to get into.
He's got to get his 1,000, man. We got to get him to 1,000, and I think. You have to find a way to marry now. Okay, the team does well in these jumbo sets, in this 13 or 12 personnel instead of the 11, right? Where you're one tight end, one running back with the 3 wide receivers. Can you go out there, throw some different looks, get JJ his touches within this kind of new look offense, right? Like, where do they come from? And this is KOC's got to show a certain amount of development, because I think what happened this year that a lot of people aren't giving a lot of credence to, because there's been so many other things, injuries and quarterback play and everything else, is that this league will figure you out. Defensive coordinators make a lot of money on the other side of the ball too, right? And I think they kind of have seen enough of KOC and his system over the course of the last 3-4 years to know that, hey, this is what the guy likes to do. These are the things that he's put on tape, right? Can KOC make adjustments? Now, he did over a week, and I'm with you, B. To me, I'm not really giving any grades until the end of the season. Like,
exactly.
5 games now kind of stack into themselves to a little mini season. Like, let's judge it by the rest of this season. What's happened has happened. And now what do you have? You have this condensed look at what this team could be moving forward.
Yeah, I look at this game as, I'm not going to give it a grade. I'll give it incomplete. But, in the back of my mind, I think it was a A-B. But if the rest of these games go back to where they're playing like they did the other games with JJ, then this game means nothing. I mean, the way they perform meant nothing. So I'm just next 4 games, I'm looking for consistency out of everybody. I mean, it has to be consistency, and Jefferson has to get involved. I mean, that's the next step.
Yeah. Just to piggyback off that, there's this team that we have right now, take into account the salary cap situation. There's not going to be very many additions other than through the draft unless we get extremely creative. And I don't see that happening. So this team is minus a few faces, basically going to be the one we're rolling with next year. So it's extremely important that we get that chemistry going, that we get some sort of momentum going in, some sort of belief, some sort of, hey, not only are we winning games, but we're doing it this way, running the ball. Hey, we can actually hit Jefferson for more than 15 yards a game. We're keeping him happy as well. Offensive line staying healthy, just bring it all together, if for the most part, at least for the end of the year. Dallas is no slouch. Their defense is going to be their defensive line, and the way they run their defense is going to be extremely difficult, and it's going to challenge our offensive line. They run a lot of 5 down linemen, so that makes it one-on-ones all across the board. If we have one person not doing their job or not healthy and we have a backup there, that just points out our weak spot right there. Just having those linemen do one-on-one, and then you send a linebacker in there. This is going to be a tough one.
No, and I think that the style of defense that they play almost warrants that you play that jumbo package, right? That you're getting more Josh Oliver out there, that you're getting, the other tight ends involved, and you're showing that you can push people around. And I think you have that pedigree on the offensive line. I don't think any offensive lineman wants to drop back 50 times a game, right? No. Like, it just doesn't. You want to go out there and pancake somebody and put them on their ass, and to run over somebody, to go out and take out a cornerback when you get a chance running out on the edge. And like, that's what you want to do. That's what makes you feel good, not dropping back and having somebody maul you play after play after play. And you can do both. And I think that we saw a little bit of that this week. You got to be able to wear out those defensive linemen too. I mean, you got Kenny Clark out there in the middle of that defense. The man's a problem, and this Minnesota team should be very familiar with him and how much of a problem he can be.
Yeah.
So get out there, run this guy over a few times, get his fat ass jogging up and down the field, right? Like that affects those big guys, right? A couple of those 8, 10, 15, 20-yard runs, and these defensive linemen are having to jog up and down that field, man. You want them to be gassed. You want them throwing their arm up and coming out of the game. And that changes the whole look of a team. And I hope that I hope we see more of it. And like you said, B, is like consistency. Can we come out, and does it look exactly like it did against the Commanders? I hope so, but it could look a little bit different with JJ getting the ball, maybe Addison touching the ball, catching the ball, and it looks a little bit better. There's a way to bring it all together. I know that, KOC probably threw up in his mouth a couple of times calling 25 run plays, no doubt. But, you won, and you won in decisive fashion, right? Like that, at some point he's got to put the ego and the pride away too, and to say, hey, this is how my football team wins games. I have to be that play caller to deliver on that.
Well, and it's like we had over 300 yards of offense, and if it's just if that comes from something so simple as just running the ball a little bit more, I mean, penalties. We only had 3 penalties for 24 yards. compared to the previous weeks. The turnovers itself, our red zone 4 for 4, like the whole game all the way around. And that was what we needed. Those are the stats we should have had at the very least against a team like Washington.
Well,
Now,
and I think too is the defensive side. You stopped them on 4th down. Offensive side, you got that 3rd down on a third, or you got that 1st down on a 3rd down. And also going forward, we need to find out our identity of our leader on defense, because Smith is going to retire. So who's going to be the one that step up and fill those shoes? But this game showed me a lot, and when that first drive, I'm just like, oh, Washington's going to score on this one. Next thing I know, we got the ball on the 2, and we're heading the other way for another touchdown. So they showed that they can make stops when needed.
All right, we got one segment we need to get to before I let you guys go.
Right.
Coach, we got the good, the bad, and the ugly. The goater, the eelier, and the yoder.
that's going to take me a while to get used to. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah.
The good.
We can each take one if you want to. We can each take one.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll take the good. The good. I mean, we came out and we scored a touchdown. First touchdown scored in how long? Like 19 quarters. It felt like.
Yeah, a month and a half.
Yeah. So that was good. Just having, like I said, 300 yards of offense. That's a step in the right direction. The winning the turnover battle, that was going to be huge. Van Ginkel, I don't know how you do it. It's just that one play, but you just seem to make it every week, and I'm totally fine with it. You can keep that up. McCarthy showing growth. Now we just got to work on the consistency, work on the touch on the ball, and before you know it, I feel like that chemistry between him and JJ is just a matter of time.
B, you go ahead and take the bad.
Man, bad. God, there's really nothing. I mean, bad is definitely got to get JJ involved. He's been a couple of games where he's just had 2 receptions for 10 yards ish. I mean, he's definitely got to get into the game. Definitely on defense, I think that first drive, I think was the bad until they made that stop. I mean, we're, as me as a Vikings fan watching them go down, it's like, oh, we scored. Now they're going to go down and score. It's just like, and then they stopped them. So, but I there really wasn't much bad. Maybe, as Sir Picasso said, the stadium didn't get rocking until after that first drive and maybe the first stop. So, maybe some of the bad came from the mojo of the fans. So that's all I got.
That leaves me with the ugly. That's fitting. It's gotta be that Ward hit on Ertz. I mean, nobody wants to see that.
Oh, yeah.
And the kid feels bad about it. I don't think it's be a dirty play. I even heard some Vikings fans on the Vikings vent line that were coming out and saying it was dirty and he's doing it. I mean,
it's up in the air.
It's on him.
Yeah, I don't think he thought he was going to jump for it. I think that hit was going to come in and hit him mid-thigh. Yeah. He jumps up in the air. It clips. I mean, you're talking about 6 inches, right? Like 6 inches from in the middle of the guy's thigh. Well, maybe like a foot on Zach.
That's why I can't believe he got fined.
Massive human being.
Wait, he did get fined for that?
He did, yeah. I don't know. How much was it, B?
It wasn't much. He said he wasn't going to fight it either. Let's see here.
No, and you think that's almost
that's out of respect for
other guys. It's a deterrent to the league to say, hey, if you clip low, we're gonna ding you for something.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, that's not the right guy. I'm looking. I can't find the exact price.
Just said that he was fined. Yeah. So it probably wasn't very much. If it's just $5,000, right? That's a little portion of his game check. You don't. And the fact that I didn't see the story, and I appreciate you sharing that, B, that he left the stadium and went straight to the hospital to check on him, man. I mean, that's a class act.
That's
To
very
me,
important to know. Yeah.
yeah, and that's something that most fans aren't going to see. They don't want to see it. Some people don't, and it is what it is. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I got caught by one of those fan sites when I saw someone talking smack about Addison, said he got, fined and suspended again. And I jumped on it because I wanted to. Like, I don't like selfish players. Right. And I got a big problem with Adam Thielen right now too. I'm not from Minnesota, so I can give a fuck if the dude's from Minnesota and played for the team. The fact that your people went out and asked for the trade or asked to be released, and then you go to the Steelers and one of your first quotes after the game, after you caught one pass, or I got my love of the game back, man, fuck you, man. That's real feel on that, man. I don't give you whatever, dude. I don't care. Don't come back and retire a Viking. Don't say that crap and then come out with some quote. I found my love of the game again. Man,
Right.
when you dropped 18% of the passes that were thrown your way, dude, get bent. I
mean, there's a lot.
I wasn't a real big Vikings fan while he was here, so maybe that affects it too. But he wasn't being a team guy when he wanted all the money to go play somewhere else, right? Like you weren't being a team guy before, and like you only like this team and play off the team guy thing when it benefits you. So that doesn't feel like a team guy to me anyway.
Yeah, no, it was something that, I mean, a lot of people are saying pretty much the same thing. You wanted to release, you claim that you want to go find a team that can get you to that next step, being that it's your last year. And then you sign with Pittsburgh and say that you found the love of the game. And you can kick rocks.
Yeah. Hang on. Go retire a Steeler for all we care.
Yeah. No, that pissed me off too.
99% of the he's going to retire a Viking. And we're all going to love him again.
Minnesota, nice.
Yep.
Yeah, well, and I got a little bit of a problem with that coming in from, on the outside looking in. I don't live in Minnesota, so we're South Dakota are full of assholes, man. Like it's hard living out here. We can't afford to be nice all the time, so we're realists, right? And we're about community and about really being about the team. And Cody, I know you can speak a lot to this because you've been part of championship teams. You ain't got no room for people like that. Like that's a cancer inside of the locker room. And if you're having those thoughts in your head, which like that's affecting the whole team, right? You don't think people know that you asked front office to be let go and these things? Like, nah, man, you ain't got no room for that stuff. Not on a championship squad. And that's why I hope they find themselves this offseason. I hope these last few games show the measure of the people that want to be here moving forward, because you do have a lot of these pieces that are back. I thought it was really cool to see, Hargrave and Allen get game balls and to see them really playing. It feels like they're kind of finding their footing in the city. I think that's a hard thing that a lot of people don't like, adjusting to a new team, to come over with a big price tag and expectations on, and then to kind of underperform in that we don't give a lot of credence as fans. It's definitely, what have you done for me lately? All we see is a salary and your performance on the field. You're not getting a lot of credit. JJ McCarthy's personal life, coming back from an injury, getting married, having a baby, like all the things, right?
Well, hold on.
And like,
I got to speak on that. Giving out the game balls. You're not going to give one to Oliver. Two catches, 2 touchdowns. You're not going to give him one. Trash.
Yeah.
Trash.
No.
But fellas, I hate to do this, but I gotta get going. I gotta go start plowing. I'll be plowing all night. So.
All right, man. I wish the rest of this team had the work ethic you do, Coach.
Hey, man. It is what it is.
Yep. You be good out on the road, man. I appreciate you tapping in. That's Coach Cody Holmdahl. I think I'm going to go get some sleep too, B. Thanks for being part of the show, man. This was really great sharing it with you. You make sure you go follow Sir Picasso. I did already. We're going to see you all So we got a late one. Coach, are you working Sunday night too?
Yeah, but it ain't no thing. I'll figure it out. I'll make it
I
happen.
may be home for that, so I can definitely jump on too pregame if
And we
needed.
appreciate it. Long as Coach gets me his keys, we can talk about it, man.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and I can hop on. I might just have to dip on out every once in a while. We'll make it work.
we will make it work, indeed.
We always do.
For Coach Cody, for Big B, I'm Bubba Starts. This has been Vikings Uncensored. Sir Picasso was on with us earlier. We love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. And we will see you Sunday night for Vikings pregame action. Have a great night, everybody.
Have a good one.
Later.
SPSN.